Hi, I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com, and welcome to 7 tips for overcoming jealousy in relationships. How to stop being jealous today before this relationship parasite eats away your love life. And I always love the quote, "It's not love that is blind, but jealousy." And a client said to me, he's so jealous, talking about her boyfriend, I have to face the wall in restaurants when I go out with him. And Kevin sat beside her rather meekly. "Mark, can you please make him understand that I love him?" Catherine continued. "I don't want anybody else, but his insane jealousy is going to tear us apart unless something changes." And Kevin admitted that when they went out in public, he would insist she sit toward a wall so that she couldn't see or be seen by other potential attractive mates. If he caught her chatting or joking with male neighbours or colleagues, he would assume right off she was having an affair. She had stopped seeing a really good male friend that she'd known since childhood, and he'd banned her from chatting to a 70-year-old married man who lived next door. And this, for her, was maddening, of course. His jealousy was all-encompassing, from attractive male movie stars to male teachers of her young children at the school that they went to. And at first, before realizing how destructive it was to become, she'd been flattered by the intensity of his jealous attentions. After all, it showed he cared, right? But the constant anxiety, a loss of her freedom, and sheer clinginess, he would text her every half hour if she went out with a girlfriend, were now torture to her and also to him. And most people feel a little jealous sometimes, especially when they have strong feelings of attraction and love for their partner. And a little jealousy occasionally can add zest to any relationship, really. But just as a spark can illuminate a room, a blaze can burn it to the ground. So what's behind jealousy? What does jealousy in a relationship mean? At the root of jealousy lies fear of loss. Like many jealous partners, Kevin feared loss of his relationship, loss of self-respect, even loss of face, fearing how his friends would see him if he were to be made a fool of, in his terms. Fear makes for feelings of insecurity. When fear lessens, so does jealousy. More than feelings of fear, jealousy also leads to a smorgasbord of other emotions, such as anger, hate, of love rivals, disgust, sometimes self-disgust, and hopelessness. So why might a person be jealous, or particularly jealous? Kevin's ex-wife had cheated on him, and he felt he'd never got over this. Once bitten, twice shy, as the saying has it. Now, we're told it's great to have a good imagination, but he was using his imagination to torment himself. And of course, if your partner is continually sexually active with other people, then jealousy is totally justified. And perhaps the whole relationship needs to be reevaluated. But here I want to focus on helping you if you feel unduly jealous. That's to say, there's no real or proper evidence, other than in your mind, that your partner is or has been unfaithful to you. So these tips also focus on sexual jealousy rather than, say, being jealous of the amount of time your partner spends with their mother or their kids. Okay, we're talking about sexual jealousy here. So how can we start to break the jealousy cycle, reclaim self-control, and stop driving our partners and ourselves crazy? So number one, and it may sound trite, but how about believe your partner? So take them at their word. If they do lie to you, then they're not making a fool out of anyone but themselves. So remember that. If someone lies to you, they're making a fool out of themselves. It's been said that trust is the cornerstone of any relationship, and it's very insulting for your partner to have you always doubting their word or decency of behaviour. Constant questioning by you can even be as destructive as having an affair in the long run. Okay, being untrusted. You'll still distrust your partner for a while out of sheer habit, but find the strength to start acting as if you believe them more of the time. If you've been checking that they really were where they said they've been, then stop doing that. When they tell you they love you, believe them. Step 2, easier said than done, but stop comparing yourself to others. Some, not all jealousy is driven by low self-esteem. How could they love me? I don't understand how someone like them could be attracted to someone like me. None of us are supposed to understand exactly why someone loves us. Does the Mona Lisa painting know why it's so valuable? And of course, you may be able to appreciate attractive qualities in yourself, but consider this. There are better looking, richer, funnier, smarter, younger people around than just about all of us, but these are qualities of a product. If he or she loves you, it will be because of an extra indefinable quality that you have, that they couldn't even explain perhaps, some deep part of your humanity they connected to, which transcends looks or youth or wealth, and so on. Some of the most loved people in history have been well down the list when it comes to looks or wealth. Stop trying to work out why they can possibly like you, because it might not be a workable, outable type of a thing. It might be a terrible thought, but be prepared to lose them. This is my third tip. So I said that not all jealousy is driven by low self-esteem, and that's right. People with quite high self-esteem can experience intense jealousy if they tend to feel they themselves must always be the center of things. Okay. People like this tend to look at other people as material property, and maybe they don't just want to share that property, as it were, even as far as letting their partner innocently smile or socialize with another person. Perhaps as a kid they were a little spoiled. Okay, they see people as their property, but people are not, of course, objects or toys to be constantly guarded. To love someone properly, we need to be prepared to lose them. So, I might be thinking I'm crazy at this point, but, hear me out. Anger, fear, and jealousy drive out love, and love needs a strong dash of fearlessness to flourish. It's courage in love. Okay, so you fear losing your loved one to someone else, and possibly fear how this will make you feel about yourself. If you must keep using your imagination, use it to imagine the worst happening and you still being okay, not just surviving but thriving in this imagined scenario. Fantasize about how well you'd react, how whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay, actually imagine the worst happening and you being all right. Write down 10 positive ways you'd like to respond and how you'd build your life up even better if this relationship were to end. Fear is much greater when we feel that all our eggs are in one basket. Don't build your whole life around any one person. So how can I live without you? It's too daunting. Really imagine how you would if you had to live without this person. Okay, but don't leave this list lying around to be found by your partner, as they may start feeling insecure themselves. Okay, number 4, don't play games. Jealousy is excruciatingly uncomfortable. People sometimes try to make themselves feel better by trying to get their partner jealous. Don't do this. Flirting with other men or women all the time in front of your partner, constantly saying how attractive, fun and witty someone you work with is, and going out of your way to talk about past lovers, just demeans you and won't make either of you feel better in the long run. This isn't to say you have to pretend that no other attractive people exist in the world, but you can acknowledge this without using it as a form of relationship ammunition. If your partner is ever unfaithful to you, okay, that is a reflection of them, not you. They haven't had the courage to end the relationship with you, and they've been deceitful. And if this were to occur, it's better that they don't have the ammo to turn around and say, well, you were always talking about so-and-so at work, or can you blame me because you were always flirting outrageously with the auto repairman or the girl that works in the bar? Okay, so keep your dignity long-term and ditch the game playing. Number 5, stop confusing make-believe with reality. Jealousy, like many psychological problems, from hypochondria to paranoia, is driven by the destructive use or misuse of the imagination. So the imagination, of course, is great if you use it for your own benefit, not if it messes with your mind. Stephen King has a stellar career from making stuff up and writing about it, but he distances himself, thankfully for him, from stuff that he creates in his head. Okay, He doesn't believe everything he writes is real just because he imagined it, which is what chronic worriers do. So right now, I can imagine an alien invasion headed right towards Earth. I can vividly see the pesky aliens about to land, the mothership in my local park. But I don't believe it. Okay. Just because you can imagine something doesn't make it true. Stop trusting your imagination so much, however realistic it can be. Think about it. Your partner is home later than you thought they were going to be. You start to imagine them having an intimate drink with that handsome guy you saw working in her office, or that luscious sister of his new gym partner you happened to see one time. You become angry, upset, frightened, without having any evidence that what you imagined is real. They come home and you react weirdly by being very cold, or you have an outburst of anger toward them. They become defensive and angry back in turn. And I recall seeing a YouTube video of a dog becoming very angry with its own leg. Okay, the more its leg moved, the angrier the dog got with it, not realizing that the dog, was moving the leg. Now, we laugh when we see a dog doing this, but psychologically, people do a variation of this all the time. When you stop getting emotional just because you've imagined something, you'll take a hefty step towards regaining control of that jealousy. Tip number 6, lengthen the leash. Okay, since we're talking canines, here's another dog reference. Start relaxing with lengthening the leash. If your partner wants to spend the weekend with his or her friends, let them. Keeping them imprisoned will only build their desire to escape your possessiveness. Let them have their freedom. And no, this is not the same as letting them walk all over you. Okay. If you're out with them, let them chat to their attractive colleague, bearing in mind that they may not find their colleague as attractive as you imagine they do. Okay. If you suspect your partner is trying to make you jealous, then short-circuit this by relaxing about it. How do we do this? Okay, so number 7, use your imagination to make you feel better, not worse. So try this exercise. Close your eyes and relax. Okay. Now think about the type of scenario that makes you the most jealous. Is it knowing your partner is out and you imagining them with someone else? Is it seeing them talking and laughing with someone else? Now, breathing deeply and focusing on relaxing different parts of your body in turn, just imagine seeing yourself looking calm, relaxed, even disinterested in that kind of situation. Because ultimately in life, we only have ourselves to answer to, and you can only truly control yourself. Visualize your partner doing all the things that made you feel jealous, and see yourself not responding with jealousy, but rather with calm detachment. And the more you can do this, the less jealousy will be able to mess with you. So it might sound strange to say that jealousy is more about self-love than real love for another person, but jealousy does make us focus more on our own feelings than the feelings of the other person. Overcoming jealousy isn't about making your partner face the wall in restaurants or trying to prevent them ever looking at anyone else. It has to be about you managing your own emotions. I worked with Kevin hypnotically, worked with his traumatic memories of having been cheated on by someone who wasn't Catherine, and bit by bit got him to lengthen the leash, and their relationship began to improve. So now I'm happy to say his beautiful fiancée sits with her back to the wall at restaurants because, as Kevin says, why deny other men the chance to admire a beautiful face? So I hope you found that useful, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe, and if you want to hear when my next video is published, hit the notification bell below. I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com, and if you'd like to try some of my personal development products, head over to hypnosisdownloads.com and take a look around. And thanks for watching.